Hey everybody, Bobo Gaming back again with the new Grand Arena season starting and how this is now important for your crystal income. I figured I'd start making some videos on the more popular teams in Grand Arena and how you're going to set them on defense and what's going to go into the thought process of the compositions that you're going to set. So the first video we're going to do here is Darth Revan Sith Empire. The base Sith Empire team that we'd be looking to set would be Darth Revan, Darth Malak, Bastila Shan Fallen, and then two from HK-47, Sith Marauder, and Sith Empire Trooper. Generally, I like to think that Sith Empire Trooper is the best one to have on this team, but more people are likely to have HK-47 and Sith Marauder relict. So in my case, I would be setting the 5 relic characters, but if my Sith Empire Trooper was at relic, I would be setting him and then probably Sith Marauder, depending on how I wanted to split my roster down. The problem with this team is that Imperial Troopers are very good against it, even with a high relic Sith Empire Trooper. If they have a Piet who is less than 19 speed slower than your Darth Revan. So if you have a 330 speed Darth Revan and they have a 311 speed Admiral Piet, then they'll be favored to beat your Sith Empire team quite comfortably if they have a relic Dark Trooper. I'm going to quickly show you a video of how that goes. This fight is from a TW a little while ago, was in May. And you can see here I'm using Veer's lead with Piet, Dark Trooper, Start and Range versus a Gear 12 Sith Empire Trooper, but a full Sith Empire team as we've just discussed. Now you can see here that what Piet is going to do is put his buff on the Dark Trooper, and then Stark is going to use his buff, which is going to take a little TM away from their team as well because of the Zeta. Dark Trooper's going to basic, get some proc assist from the Range Trooper, then go in on the HK-47, just a basic because you don't want to crit and trigger those bonus turns. Trigger the fear onto Malak. I made a mistake there because I shouldn't have used the prot up ability because of HK Zeta. But as we deleted him, it's not really a problem. Then kill the Bastila. And then you kill the Darth Revan next. You can see it's just a lot of basics going on here. And now they have a Malak. And you just AoE on the Malak. And the fight's over. This is why if Piet is going to outspeed your Darth Revan, you can't really set this team on defense. That's going to bring us to our next comp, which is Sith Empire with Nest. So for this, we're using the same core of Darth Revan, Darth Malak, and Bastila Shan Fallen, but we're also going to include Emphis Nest. And we're then going to take our best tune from HK-47, Sith Marauder, and Sith Empire Trooper. This composition is very strong versus Imperial Troopers, as they're going to struggle to kill the Emphis Nest. Dark Trooper really struggles to kill Nest unless you can wiggle the fight such that you can one-shot the Nest with the Dark Trooper. And remember that each punch from the Dark Trooper, so it hits a number of times equal to his stacks, between each of those hits it will proc the Emphis Nest protection up. So the very first hit from the Dark Trooper would have to kill the Nest. So it's quite unlikely. But this comp is weak to General Skywalker and the 501st, which I think is acceptable because if someone has to burn a gas on this team, I'm pretty happy with that trade. Another composition we can look at if our opponent has a Piet that's going to outspeed our Darth Revan is to look at Maul Sith Empire. So that's Darth Maul with our core trio of Revan, Malak, and Bastila Shan Fallen, and then one from Enfys Nest, Marauder, or Sith Empire Trooper. I think Sith Empire Trooper is your best bet here, but Enfys Nest is also quite nice. The problem with Enfys Nest is she's a very versatile toon, and you may want to use her on a number of different teams. This composition is weak to a General Grievous with the 3 droids plus Newt, or a Relic Night Sister team. The Relic Night Sister team will be quite low on banners, but it's generally quite a consistent win. The last composition I want to look at here is the new Hotness. That's Darth Revan, Darth Malak and Bastila Shan Fallen with Darth Talon. Her unique, giving the team an extra 20 speed, is very, very nice with Darth Revan, especially if you have a relatively quick Darth Revan. You don't really want Enfys Nest in this composition, but it is an option. You ideally want Sith Marauder or Sith Empire Trooper to get the most out of the Zeta on Darth Talon, which is going to feed turn meter to your whole team when Darth Revan is damaged. This actually looks like it's a good team and might catch people unawares because they might not factor in the unique of Darth Talon giving 20 speed to Darth Revan, and thus they might calculate the Imperial Trooper speeds incorrectly, or they just might be unable to outrun the Darth Revan team with troopers, and this team is less weak versus Night Sisters and versus General Grievous than the Maul lead would be. Now we've looked at all of the compositions we could set on defense, how do we choose which one we will set? Well, for me, first I will start by looking at if my opponent has a Relic Dark Trooper. If they don't, I'll be setting a traditional Darth Revan Sith Empire team. If they do have a Relic Dark Trooper, I'll then be looking at their Piet. If their Piet is more than 20 speed slower than my Darth Revan, I can still set a traditional Darth Revan Sith Empire team. If they're not, so if they're within 20 speed of my Darth Revan, so a 330 speed Darth Revan would mean a 311 or faster Admiral Piet, then I need to consider something else. So then I would check if my Darth Revan is faster than their Piet base. So if mine is 330, I would be looking to see if their Piet is 329 or slower. If it's not slower, I would set Darth Revan plus Darth Talon and then the 3 other Sith Empire units. But if I am faster, I'm then going to consider whether I'm going to place Darth Maul lead with Sith Empire or Darth Revan lead Sith Empire with Nest. And that decision is going to come down to how I want to use my Enfys Nest or how I want to use my Darth Maul. But that's basically the crux of how I'm going to come to the decision of what composition I'm going to use. Hopefully you found this video helpful and it gives you something to think about with how you're going to be placing or using your Darth Revan teams, whether that's on defense or on offense. If you did, please give the video a like, a comment and a subscribe, and feel free to join my Discord server, which is linked in the description of the video. Thanks very much, and I'll be looking at making more videos like this in the future, so please check in. Take care.